And today we have Mr. Prithvi Kumar, who is an officer serving in the Central Excise Department. And before welcoming him, we'll have a brief introduction of Prithvi Kumar, sir. Mr. Prithvi Kumar is an officer serving in the Central Excise Department. He's an expert in economics, post-independence, contemporary history, and science and technology. He holds degree in marine engineering and a master's degree in economics and has years of experience teaching for civil services aspirants and mentoring them. He has gone to UPSC IAS interviews twice. He earlier served in naval services, which he later resigned. Currently, he is serving in the Central Excise Department, Government of India. For most students from non-science background who struggle to grasp even the fundamentals, his classes offer clear insights and understanding of the core concepts of economics, contemporary history, and science and technology. He is a well-learned man and a tech-savvy. His impeccable teaching style and in-depth knowledge of subjects helps him to structure and link concepts so efficiently. His expertise lies in giving right and honest guidance to aspirants who have faith in him. This guidance is personalized based on individual strengths and weaknesses of aspirants. His ability to mentor students without complicating the process is what differentiates him from the myriad of options available to an aspirant today. Always high on motivation, he pushes every student out of his or her comfort zone and enables them to excel and come out of this journey with flying colors. He seeks to simplify the exam preparation for his students and become a proud enabler in their journey of emerging victorious in the UPS Civil Services exam. So we have an introduction of Mr. Prithvi Kumar sir here, and we welcome you, sir, to this session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you, one and all. It's such a privilege and pleasure to be among such an august audience here. So already most of you would have heard the wonderful words of wisdom that was shared by some eminent personalities who are present here today. So let me just ask you just one question. Imagine now, because I'm just taking over from whatever has been told to you already. Imagine now you all are sitting for the UPSC interview. All right, just imagine yourself sitting for the UPSC interview, and I'm going to ask you a question or two questions. I'll just ask you two questions. Number one, when will you use a weapon? That is, you are an IPS officer, you're the superintendent of police, you're on the field. When will you use the weapon that has been assigned to you? Under what circumstance? I'm asking you this question simply because this was a question that was asked to me. Because my preference, service preference was IPS. So I'm asking you that same question. From my interview board, whatever I heard, I'm just putting it out there for you. You can put up your answer in the chat section. The best answers will be definitely read out. So your time starts right now. Please put up your answers in the chat section, please. Okay, Seduram is first in line here. Seduram tells me, when peace won't work. When peace won't work, okay. PS Chaitanya Purushottama is telling when there is a need. Then, come on, few more answers. Any other different answer? Come on. I'll repeat the question once again. You're the superintendent of police of a district. You have been assigned a weapon. Under what circumstance are you going to use it? Due to civil disobedience, I can use a weapon. When law permits me, altaf. Law permits you to use the weapon. That is why you have been given one. But the question is, when are you going to use it? Any more answers? Where the IPS Academy says to use or teaches me to use. Ashok says, when the IPS Academy says to use or teaches me to use? Okay, so 5 answers now, 5 similar on many lines, but very different again. So the answer, Sushmita Shetty answers when the situation goes out of control. So one common element among all your answers is, it is very ambiguous. Because when you say peace is not there or civil disobedience is there, these are not at all circumstances for you to take out your weapon. You basically take out your weapon, and Surya Kiran comes with an answer called when I am going to die in the last minute. Okay, interesting answers here. There are people ready to die for our country. Fantastic emotion, I do understand. But then let me tell you, you take the weapon when the subordinates, you are the district superintendent of police. You have subordinates working under you, and it is your responsibility to see to it that their life is not in danger. And because whoever are your subordinates, they are there to protect you. And if you don't protect them, obviously you won't have a team then. So the answer which I gave and which the board also accepted was when my subordinate's life is in danger, or when another human being's life is in danger. The last part is when my life is in danger. And even then, if you're going to fire, if I were to fire my weapon, I'm going to fire warning shots first. Once I'm done with that, only then I'm going to shoot. And if I'm going to shoot, it should be below the waist. It shouldn't be above the waist. Now, obviously, you might be wondering, how are we going to know all this answer? From where will we get to know all this information? This is what comes from current affairs discussion. This is what comes from ethics paper discussion. This is what comes from following the news regularly, because such pieces of information lie scattered in the paper. You would have heard about many police firing incidents, and always when the police fires above the waist, that is when it becomes a humanitarian issue, a human rights issue, a human rights violation. But when you fire below the waist, it is not a human rights violation, it is self-defense. And you should have valid grounds, because if it is an armed crowd, yes, you can use your weapon, but otherwise, no. So this is the way you answer. This is the way. And yes, will you be able to do it all of a sudden? Because I threw this question out of the blue. Most of you were not prepared. Most of you would have felt a little taken aback. But yes, here we will prepare you for the interview board. When I said, imagine that you are in the interview board, I want you to hold on to that thought, because I think, therefore I am. What you think here is the energy that you attract. So if you are going to start for civil service preparation, you should already imagine yourself coming out of a collector's car. If you are planning for IPS, then you should imagine that you are going to walk in that khaki uniform with a blue beret cap, with the brown shoes and the belt, in full uniform with a 9mm pistol holstered on your waist. This is the way I want you to think about yourself. Because only if you imagine that you are an officer from right now, from this stage onwards, you are in the process of preparation. Only then you will start liking it. Otherwise, you will find it to be cumbersome. Oh my God, I have to read history. Oh no, I don't want to read geography. It will be that sort of a thing. But when you read it out of pure curiosity, okay, let me see what is the latest news. Okay, let me see what is the latest thing that is happening around. Say, for example, around 1 hour ago, the rescue aircraft from Kabul airport landed in Hindon airport in India. Now, a curious mind automatically will think, okay, Indian aircraft it is, so it has definitely landed somewhere in India. Now, where is this Hindon airport? Simply Google it, and you'll find that it is in Ghaziabad, UP. So these are simple things. It is not so complicated. Just finding it out what it is. Okay, Taliban issue is going on. Now, why or from where did it start actually? How did it evolve? How and all, and why is it that none of the foreign powers who have ever attacked Afghanistan was able to capture it completely? So when you try to understand the real reason behind each and everything, things will become very clear. It will become very clear for you, and it will become very easy for you, and you can easily interconnect Taliban issue even with USA diplomacy. You can connect it with each and everything. Something as simple as that India not having sufficient money for its healthcare, you can connect it with even foreign relations, what India has in WTO. Don't get bothered by the plethora of information that I'm delivering here, because all of this has come from practice. By constantly reading, constantly updating, this has happened. So you also can do it. Not because I have complete faith in my teaching abilities, but I am supremely overconfident in your abilities to learn. So I'm pretty sure we can have this discussion. And like I promised you, I told you, one more question I will ask, which was asked to me. And this was that one question in the interview, which almost boxed me into a corner. It was every interview will try to put some amount of stress just to see whether you will be able to come out of it. So the stress question for my interview was, what if your superiors don't allow you to do your job? What will you do? What if your superiors don't allow you to do your job? What will you do? What will be your answer? Once again, put up your answers in the chat section. Administrative tribunal. That's a huge, cumbersome process, my dear Seduram, because by the time you file a case there, this, etc., already the disaster would have happened. The damage would be done. What will you do then? That is not at all an option, actually. Going to the administrative tribunal, going to the media, doing all that, not an option at all. Because you don't have that much time. It is like do or don't do. That is the situation. I will obey his orders, but I will do my duty. Surya Kiran. So you obey the orders, but you will do your duty. Your orders are very clear not to do your duty. Then once again, remember, as far as UPSC interviews are concerned, answers should be very specific. I will seek the consent from the highest authority. Manisha, MR, fine. You can always go for judicial intervention, not a problem. I will stick to what law says and won't be bothered of my seniors' whims and fancies. Altaf, there is a problem here. There is a problem called protocol. Ask them to give in writing. Still fine, Chaitanya. Always orders should be given in black and white. That answer is also fine. I will just do my job without listening to superior and later explain to the tribunal later. Insubordination would be tolerated in any government circles. If you have a clear standing order to step down, means you should step down. I'll do my duty which government of India and as per the constitution. Like I told you, if an order is there, what will you do? I request my superior to let me do my job and he didn't realize, I will go with judiciary's help. Fine, Kalyan. So again, beautiful set of answers here. I can already see most of you taking an active interest and an active participation. Kudos to you all. So let me tell you what actually transpired that day on the interview board. So first thing that I told was, I said, I will try my level best to convince. Because that is the first thing that you can do, right? We can go to judiciary, we can go to Prime Minister's office, we can contact the Central Home Department. We have many opportunities are there. We can even contact the Central Administrative Tribunal. But first immediate thing, try to talk it out. Then the interviewer asks, what if they still don't listen? What if your political bosses don't allow you to do your job? Then what will you do? This is the next question he asked, because I told I will try to convince. Then he said, no, your political bosses also are not allowing you to do your job. Then what will you do? Again, what will be the answer, my dear friends? Come on, come on. Convey him the situation outside. Agreed. The same answer I also gave. I said, I will try my level best. I even went to the extent of telling, I will try to convince to the extent where that I will tell them, if they don't allow me to Exactly. Sedhuram's answer is very close to the answer which I gave there for my interview board, which is I will convince him in a manner that he will get the support of the people. I said the same thing. I actually told, if you don't allow me to do my job, you may not win the next election. You may lose the support of the people. And the answer, the next question asked by the board member was, oh, so then you are going to seek votes for the politician then? Is that your job then? Can you see the situation now? With every answer, a counter question is coming. And with every question, he's trying to push me further and further into a corner where I'm not able to come out of the situation. I will take help from the people. I will give guidance to the people to come out of it. Nothing, not at all possible. You are in a room. Imagine you are in a room. Your superior IPS officers are standing there, and your political bosses are also standing there. You are trying to come. You are trying to convince them there. So I will break the answer to you now. This kept on going. Like he kept on asking me, oh, if they won't allow means what you will do. Your superiors allow means what you will do. If your political bosses don't allow means what will you do? It continued. And that is when I remembered an interview of an IPS officer, which I had watched some time ago before my, during my preparation days, where the IPS officer told, political executive, which is also known as the temporary executive, always have the upper hand above permanent executive. And what do you mean by permanent executive? Permanent executives are all the IAS, IPS officers. You're permanent. Once you enter into the service, until and unless you do some major blunder, you will be there in the service till the age of 60. Got it? But political executives, that is not the case. Every 5 years, the government may change, the ministers may change, there will be a revamp in the ministry. Your bosses will keep changing. But at the end of the day, an elected government has the upper hand above you. And once they give you an order in black and white asking you to step down, what will you do? You will listen. You have no other choice. If a written order is given to you not to do something, you have to abide by it. Yes, you can challenge the order. You can challenge it in a court. You can challenge it in an administrative tribunal. All these options are available to you. So they just wanted to see what sort of individual am I? Am I somebody who is ready to take orders? Am I an activist? Whether I will be talking about, oh, I will go to the media, I will go to the court, I will go here, I'll go there. No. When you know you have received an order, sudden transfer has been given to you, a sudden transfer out of the blue. You have not even completed compulsory 3-year service in your district. Before that, you have got a transfer. What will you do? Pack your bags and leave. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Your job is to take your order. If the order says so, you can execute it. If there is no order, you cannot do it. Yes, you can squeeze some room here and there, but it is again highly individual discretion. Such things are not taught in the academy. Such things comes from within, comes from your conscience, subconscious level. What do you think? All that, from there it comes out. Getting the idea? So this, it will happen. When will it happen? It will happen from the day you start preparing. From the day you become aware about the things that happens around you, about the blunders that are committed by other IAS or IPS officers. From them you will learn. And then slowly it starts building in you. Because the first day when you go and get your posting, it will be nothing like whatever you have been taught in the Labasna or in Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy. It will be a completely new situation. You have to improvise then and there, just like your preparation. You would have thought, okay, today I'm going to study history. And all of a sudden, your family have decided to go out to a relative's home. What will you do? It is your precious study time. You will take your books along with it. You will study along the way. You will prepare it. Once you reach the relative's home, you will improvise. Constant improvisation according to the given situation. If you are ready to do, you will succeed in life. Because life keeps throwing googly at you just to see. Life is like this naughty kid. Will keep throwing things at you. You can get stressed by it, or you can just accept it and improvise the situation. So I hope that was clear to you. Now, because we have discussed so many things, obviously there will be some curiosity with regard to the syllabus. Correct? So let us quickly go through the syllabus of UPSC. Now, most of you here are here for preparation for civil services exam. The best exam that you can prepare for. Why I would say so is, once you prepare for this exam, you can basically go and write any other governmental exam. You can easily crack any other government exam because this is one of the world's most toughest exam. The syllabus is very vast for that reason. It is not because you require Einstein's brain or you need to lock yourself up. You should break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend, etc. You shouldn't have a personal life, nothing like that. Because once you get a posting, and if you tell your wife or your husband, sorry, I got my transfer orders, or I am having work here today, I cannot come with you for the movies. Beyond 2-3 years, even your wife also won't stay with you. Trust me. So you need to balance everything out. You need to balance your professional life and personal life. Similarly, you need to balance your preparation life as well as your personal life. You should stay in touch with your family. You should stay in touch with your friends, and you should balance everything out. If you are perfectly balancing out, clearing this exam is just nothing but cakewalk. If you don't, then what will happen is you will get overwhelmed. By looking at the syllabus itself, you will feel, when will I finish preparing this? Even if I give you 10 years, you will still feel totally stressed out. And when you go for the exam, if you get a question, something as simple as, who is the first Prime Minister of India? Obviously, UPSC will never ask such a question. But I'm just telling you, if you get a question like that, you will end up marking Mahatma Gandhi as the answer. Why? Stress levels. Very intelligent people have managed not to clear this exam because they were unable to handle the stress. But very chilled people who have prepared at least diligently every day, minimum 2 hours or 3 hours, they have cracked this exam. Why? That 2-3 hours they will put in every day. They will slowly take the book. They'll say, okay, one chapter over, next chapter, they will finish it off. This is what Chris told initially. Tortoise with the steady speed will win. Rabbit, even though is faster, cannot maintain that velocity or momentum throughout. So this is like a marathon. We will go in through this process. We will take it up very slowly. One by one, we will knock it out. Each subject we are going to take up and we'll finish it off once and for all. And we'll gear up for the exam. Clear, people? Any other questions you have now before I take up the syllabus? Any question? Ask me anything you want. If I know the answer, I will tell you. Anything you want, you can ask. Like, so far, we have been talking. So many eminent personalities have talked. So many people have shared their beautiful experience. Any query, anything you have with regard to the preparation or anything, any of your worst fears. Yes, Ashok, go ahead. Actually, tell me. Many of the officials told that we should not be an expert in any subject. Absolutely right. See, expert in one subject, let me tell you. Expertism means, how does one become an expert in anything? You become an expert how you have an interest for something and you pick it up. And you pick it up, you read about it in detail. That is how you become expert. Will we get confidence to go to exam? See, that is what I wanted to tell you. Okay. Sedaram, I'll come back to you. So let me just answer this question here. Ashok, the point I will tell you here, I'll simply tell you this much. See, history or economics, my subject, let us take. Economics, if you ask me, should you be an expert in it? You need not be an expert. But minimum, you should be knowing what is it? What is microeconomics, macroeconomics, and Indian economic development? These are the 3 textbooks, NCERT textbooks of 11th and 12th standard. You should have read it. Then you should know what is the current economic events that are happening in the country or as well as in the world. Getting the point? This is what is needed. You need not write a thesis in microeconomics, or you need to know about the various theories or the economic thinkers. That is not needed. Now, if your optional subject is economics, that is a totally different ball game. You need to know about it in detail. But otherwise, if you talk about every other subject, you need to have a general idea what it is. That is more than enough. Now, Sedaram's question again is, sir, I'm extremely sorry for asking this again. I'm very anxious to know your answer for the above question. Will you seek votes for a politician? The answer what I told was, I will tell you, because first of all, I was not expecting such a question coming from the board member. I was taken aback, but I shielded my nervousness. I absolutely kept my resolve and I told, sir, I'm not trying to seek votes, but I will try everything from my end to see to it that my job gets done. See the difference. I will try everything in the book. Every trick in the book I'm going to try. I will try to convince, I will try to plead, even at the cost of sounding that I'm trying to beg also, I will do, just so that I can do my job. But if an order comes in black and white, which asks me to step down, then yes, I will step down. This is what I gave. And that particular board member also is still in my memory, for the simple reason that every other board member was smiling at me. Every other board member was smiling at me for each and every answer that I was giving. They were nodding their head, they were smiling at me, and I knew every answer that I was giving was hitting right on the head, except this board member. So he was going on staring at me. He had very small eyes, and he was going on staring at me with a constant frown on his face, like as if like I was some sort of criminal who was just walked into the interview room. But I kept my cool. And once I gave this answer, that is permanent executive is always below the temporary executive. And once a clear order is given, then I will follow my orders. Okay, so this is the thing. Now, another question that has come is, this will be the last question that I'll be taking today. How should we maintain and carry our confidence throughout this journey? See, Nagashri, I will tell you one thing. You should start loving yourself. You should start respecting yourself. Only if you love yourself, respect yourself, you can expect another person to respect and love you. It all starts from you within. Only once you have that, you'll be able to throw it out. All right. Simple tips for these things, for feeling self-confident, etc. Very simple tricks are there. Number one, sleep on time. Eat on time. At least for half an hour exercise. Drink minimum 1.5 liters of water. You may be wondering, Allah, these things are for physical fitness. What has that got to do with this? See, everything matters. Like if you can see me now, my shirt is clinging onto my shoulder. It is not loose. It is not sagging anywhere. Why? Because I like to be that way. Dress properly, exercise regularly, so that I present myself as a fit person. When you walk into an interview board also, if you come out with your chest out, stomach in, it gives that self-confidence. But instead your stomach is popping out and your shoulders are also sagging down, it won't look good. So a proper posture, proper physical posture, along with a good physical activity will go a long way in building up your confidence. I don't know how many of you would have watched that Tamil movie of Surya, Varanam Ayram. In that there is one dialogue which I still keep tell it to myself. And whenever I'm mentally down or I'm a little sad, a little agitated, that dialogue I carry with me, which is, இன்னைக்கு என் ஜூனியர்ஸ் கிட்ட நான் ஒரு விஷயம் தான் சொல்லுவேன். முதல்ல உடம்பு ரெடி பண்ணுங்க, எல்லா வலியும் போயிடும். Take care of your body first, and automatically all the pain that you have will go away. Always keep that in mind. Because once you're physically fit, you will be like, bring it on. Whatever it is, life that you want to throw at me, you bring it on. I'm going to stand right here and face it. So, for all these things, to build your self-confidence, to build your personality, to help you throughout the process, to take care of your worst fears, all of this you have come to the right place, which is AKS IAS. All of us have such tremendous experience here that we can actually guide you. Anything that you want, you can do. So we want to keep our self-respect and we can't do our job due to political pressure. How can you overcome it, sir? See, Kalyan, those questions are largely situational. Those things you will learn once you get into the job. Not everything we can give like a ready-made answer here. Self-respect is different. See, once you go into a job, self-respect means what? You are not supposed to let go of your basic ethical values. Correct? What are ethical values? We'll be teaching that also to you because GS paper 4 has a syllabus called ethics. So we'll be teaching you that. So without that, what will you do? If you feel okay, the minister or your superior is giving you an instruction which you cannot follow, verbal instruction especially, you can always say no. Obviously, there will be a cost to it. The cost will be what? Immediate transfer, but you should be ready for it. That's it. If no civil service aspirant, this is also another answer which I taught one of my earlier students. I will tell you this much. What if you are getting constantly transferred? The question was asked in the interview. The answer what I taught her was, I told her if a question like that comes, she delivered that answer and they both louder answer again. The answer to be given is no government servant should expect to be posted in the same place for a long period of time. No government servant should be expected to be attached to any place. You come there, you do your job, and you should keep moving. You should be ready to move because you're not there to serve the district or not there to serve the people of only that district. You're serving the government of India. And wherever government of India requires you to be, you should be ready to move to that place at the shortest notice. All right. So all of that is the case here. Now, before we move further, let me just tell you some of the important aspects of civil service preparation, especially the syllabus. Now, the first thing that you have to understand here is preparation is the key. All right. Preparation is the real key when it comes to anything. That is, they say, well begun is half done. If you prepare yourself well, you can face any adverse situation. So, let us try to understand what are the few myths associated with civil service preparation. On your screen, you can clearly see. They basically say only highly intelligent people can qualify. And in our country, intelligence is often associated with premier institutes like All India Institute of Medical Science, IITs, IIM, NIT, etc. From my personal experience, I will tell you this much. I know a lot of people, or at least I know some people who were from IITs, IIMs, etc. and they never cleared even the preliminary stage of the exam. At the same time, I'm even aware of a few people who have not even gone to any college. They have actually pursued their graduation through correspondence and they have cracked the service in the very first attempt. So intelligence or your qualification or even the fact that whether you have failed during your school days or you have flunked or you have a back paper in your graduation doesn't matter at all. Your past is of insignificance when it comes to civil service preparation. Your past, we don't even want to know. At AKS Academy, we don't even want to know what were your credentials. How much marks did you score for your 10th standard, 12th standard, graduation? We don't even want to know that. We just want to know only one thing. If we ask you to do something, if we tell you today, okay, read economics book, read this particular chapter from NCERT textbook, are you ready to do it? Because AKS, we will be ready to feed you, we'll put it even in your mouth. But you will have to do that minimum effort of chewing it. That much you will have to do it from your end. You should chew it and swallow it. So it's a 50-50 relationship or partnership that we are going to develop here at AKS. You have to help us to help you. Clear? So first myth we have busted. What about the second one? 18 hours a day of intensive preparation is needed. A human being requires 6 hours of sleep minimum. Put at least 2 hours for eating food, morning breakfast, evening lunch, afternoon lunch, dinner, tea snacks, etc. You need at least another 1 or 2 hours of quality me time, exercising, going out, eating good people, positive, energy vibe giving people. So 18 hours a day of intensive preparation, one day you will be able to do it, 2 days you will be able to do it, third day probably you will feel like burning all your books. Anything too much can end up becoming poison. That is why Lord Buddha also has advocated not extreme penance, not extreme, indulgence, moderation. Occasionally you do starving so that you can control the craving for food. And when you eat food also, don't go in such a way that you end up eating 10 to 20 pieces of chocolate or pastry or whatever. Moderate. Golden mean, according to Aristotle, that is a middle path. You will not go too much towards the left, too much towards the right. You will keep doing. That is consistent, steady preparation every day. Minimal effort, consistently. We don't want perfection, because perfectionists, according to Kamal Hassan, will end up in an asylum. They will go mental. We don't want that. We want constant improvement. Today you studied for half an hour, fine. Tomorrow try to make it 35 minutes. Once you make it 35 minutes, make it 40. So constant self-improvement is the key, not what comparison or thinking that somebody is preparing for 18 hours or somebody told they have prepared for 18 hours, so I will also prepare. No, you see what you can do and slowly improve upon that. Only the rich with contacts can make it to IAS. Another big myth that you need to have truckload of money with it. AKS offers you very affordable courses than any other institute in India. So you can definitely be part of this journey along with the best faculties in the entire country with such valuable experience, and you will be having a smooth sail. English proficiency is essential. So English proficiency is essential. Again, not at all important, because English is something which you can pick up as you go. Finally, only newspaper reading is enough. That is again a myth. Why? Because you need a couple of standard textbooks to prepare. So which are those standard textbooks? What are those syllabus? We will see. So these are some of the premium services in the country. As you can clearly see, there are one exam and there are 26 services. And every year you have somewhere around 800 to 900 vacancies. And maybe sometimes it is even lesser than that. And like I told you earlier, there are 3 stages to the exam: preliminary stage, main stage, and interview. After your preliminary marks are not counted, it is only qualifying in nature. Mains and interview marks will finally decide which service you get. For prelims, you have 2 papers, general studies and CSAT. For mains, you have 9 papers. The 2 qualifying language papers, they are only qualifying in nature. Marks are not counted. You have 1 essay paper, 4 GS papers, and 2 optional papers. 2 optional paper means 1 single optional, but paper 1 and paper 2. Then a personality test of 275 marks. Final merit is decided on the basis of mains plus interview mark, which is a total of 2025. And listen to this very carefully. If you score 50% in UPSC exam, you will enter into the top 3 services. That is how the evaluation is. Keep that in mind. 50% school level and college level is like considered to be a failure, but here 50% if you score, you are in top 3 services. Clear? That clearly means you don't have to be an expert. Prelims paper 1, GS, like there are 4 GS paper, sorry, this is for prelims. What and all subjects will come under it? You will have history, geography, polity and governance, economic and social development, environmental ecology, and general science. Basically, almost all the subjects from on a school level. Okay. Then this is the breakup. 2018, 2019, you can see each year there is a variation. History in 2018 was 12%, but in 2019 it was 20%. So each year there is a variation in the weightage of questions that are asked, but you can clearly see all the 6 or 7 subjects are very important. History, geography, polity, science, economy, environment, and current events. This is the syllabus for preliminary exam. This is the same syllabus, a little more vast for your mains. Okay. Now coming to the second paper for your prelims. Morning you have general studies paper for your prelims. Afternoon you have CSAT paper. CSAT paper consists of English comprehension, basic reasoning, quantitative aptitude. That's it. Only 3 sections. But again, this paper, when it comes to, it's only qualifying in nature. If you score 66 marks for CSAT, only then they will evaluate your morning paper. Getting the point? CSAT, you should score minimum of 66 or above. Once you score that much, only then they will evaluate your paper. That means you don't have to score very high marks for CSAT, because it doesn't make any difference whether you score 200 out of 200 or 66 out of 200. Nobody cares. You just need to qualify it. That's it. For prelims, only the GS paper is important. Coming to the mains exam, you have general studies paper. 4 papers are there, each carrying 250 marks. So for 4 GS paper, total it is 1000. For optional, like I told you, paper 1, paper 2, single optional, together it has 500 marks. Essay 250, interview 275. Totally, you are 2025. So, mains examination, there are 4 papers. Paper 1, which consists largely related to history and geography. Paper 2 consisting mostly about polity and international relations. Paper 3 about technology, economics, environment, etc. Then essay writing. Finally, 2 papers, optional papers. Paper 4, when we talk about ethics, integrity, and aptitude, it is more like moral science. The morals that you hold about integrity, self-motivation, perseverance, dedication, passion, empathy, sympathy, attitude, aptitude, all of this. It's pretty easy. You need not worry. We can handle those aspects also. Clear? So once you look into the syllabus itself, you know how vast the syllabus is. Now, this is what a typical interview board panel will look like. All right. You will have board members on one side sitting like this, and you will have, and this, what is it? The wonderful lady that you can see over there in the red churidar or whatever could be you in the future. This is how an interview board looks like. And this should be your aim. Clear? What they assess, how to appear for an interview, what should you say, what you should not say, all of this will be trained to you. Now, as you can clearly see in the diagram here, the old story what we have heard about the crow worked very hard to drink the water by dropping pebbles into it. Smart worker will use what? A straw. If you are the crow, we are the straw there. And the water there is the IAS. You can use us, and I request you to use us. With all, exploit us completely, just so that you can get into the service. We are the choice that you need. Getting it? We are the choice that will actually help you reach this August audience. As you can clearly see, that is Labasna. All of them decked up, suited up. They are all sitting over there. Lal Bahadur Shastri of Administration, Mussoorie. This is how it looks in the night. And this is the winter snow. Already looking great, correct? Because that is where your foundation course will happen. For those of you who, like me, who want to have a little bit of action, etc., well, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy is your choice. As you can clearly see there, the man in black over there is a commando, NSG commando, and is giving training to the IPS probationary officers on how to use a short machine gun, SMG. Getting the point? So this is what you have to understand. So the gurus here, they themselves have achieved one or the other service, or they are in each one of them in accomplished fields. Every student here will have a mentor. A mentor will be somebody who will cater to your need. That is, I am not going to compare, oh, Sethuram is a better student than that student. No, I'm going to look what are Sethuram's strengths and what are Sethuram's weaknesses, and I will see to it that how can Sethuram take control of his weakness and improve upon his strength. This you will be getting only here at AKS. Guest lectures will be given by serving officers so that you will get an immunity booster in the form of a motivation, because motivation is something which you need every day. Weekly tests will be there, daily assignments will be there, and you need to take these up very seriously, because the training is tough. Clearing the exam will become easy. Here we have only one motto. When our students come out of the exam hall, they should always say, UPSC exam is so easier compared to the exams that are conducted at AKS IAS. Your fear should be to attend only our exam, but not to attend UPSC exam. And whenever you should be able to say, we will see to it, always see to it that our students say, it is easy to appear for UPSC exam any number of times, but to appear for AKS IAS exams, it's very difficult. That is the level of training we give here. We will force you, we will push you to the point that you succeed. Relevant study materials and handouts also will be handed over to you, and we will see to it that we are there with you throughout your journey. Remember, plan with us, prepare with us, and perform. That's it. That way, you will reach where you want. So, very simple stuff. So, you have to understand that is newspaper reading and watching news is important. Any newspaper, for now, you can refer to the Hindu, as well as watching news also, it should be useful news. Whatever you do, preparation for civil service exam should be started early, because the quicker you start, the better you get at it. Then communication skills as well as extracurricular activities, all of this you can engage yourself in. That is what I would tell you, balance it out. Balance yourself, balance your professional and your personal life. Be aware, understand what are the issues, because whatever has been discussed, try to find out the nook and corner of it. Like now I told you, Hindon Airport is in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. So what can you do? Pull out the atlas, find out where is Ghaziabad. Find out whether there is any river near Ghaziabad. Automatically what will happen? You are doing map work also. So your familiarity with maps will improve. Writing skills, choosing the right optional, all of this we will help you out, because good writing skills matters for getting good marks for your mains. Some of the books which you can refer will be NCERT books, standard textbooks they are from 6th to 12th standard, Manorama yearbook, India yearbook from Ministry of INB and Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, Competition Wizard, Chronicle, Pratyogita Darpan, so many magazines are there, refer any one. Arihant General Knowledge 2021, you can refer that book also. It's a very good book for information. Even you can use that book for appearing in any other government exams. Internet and Wikipedia, again, they are very good sources of knowledge. But when you go for internet also always see to it that you visit the authentic website for the information. Clear? We will help you throughout, so don't worry. So if you prepare, like I told you, this is a mammoth exam and it has so many other exams are there where you will be ready if you prepare for this. Some of these, can I have the earlier slides, please? One more, back. Yeah, so you can give your back. So you can give your state public service exams, other Group B exams, RRB, SSC, banking exams. Next slide, please. Next slide. Food Corporation of India, public sector units, insurance sector, CDS, Central Secretariat, United Nations, NET, CSIR. So many exams are there. Group B, Group C services, plenty are there. So you are by default preparing for all these exams when you prepare for UPSC. And that is what I would suggest you. Always keep giving every exam possible when you're preparing for UPSC. Why? Because the small battles, when you win, it will improve your self-confidence. And that will actually take care of your fear of exam. So understand one thing, know the scheme of the exam, know the syllabus, shortlist the study material, devise a study or a revision plan. The mentors will help you out for that at AKS. Analyze previous year question paper. Very important. At AKS, we always insist on this. Why? Because, and we'll help you with that also, don't worry. Because the best way to crack any exam is take the last 5 years question paper, analyze it topic wise, and you will know what the exam is demanding in terms of the syllabus. Practice more model questions. Why? Because well practiced is half done. So more you practice, the better you get at it. Clear, my dear friends? This is what it is there in a nutshell. So once again, I welcome you all from the bottom of my heart to AKS IAS. You are at the right place. Stick with us, toil with us, and succeed. All right? Take care.
Thank you very much, sir. You got all the aspirants on the go and through the interactions, and that was very lively indeed. Thank you so much.
This video is brought to you by AKS IAS.